It is playoff time in the Hill City. The Lynchburg Hornets play host to the Eagles of Bridgewater in the ODAC Quarterfinal. A chance to punch your ticket to the semis with a date between the winner of Roanoke and Virginia Wesleyan, also happening here at 7 o'clock this evening. Welcome to Schellenberger Field on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. I'm Joe Brennan here on behalf of LHSN and FloSports. The Lynchburg Hornets were red hot coming into their most recent game against Washington in league, but the Generals snuffed the Hornets at home and secured a 17-15 win, snapping Lynchburg's win streak and putting Lynchburg as the second overall seed in the tournament. Meanwhile, on the other end, it's a Bridgewater squad that comes into today's affair with an overall record of 10-7 and 4-6 in their conference play. These two squads faced off here on Schellenberger Field back in March on the 21st. It was a 5-26 final score in favor of the Lynchburg Hornets. But today's going to be a little bit of a different ball game because we've got some changes in the Lynchburg lineup. Starting between the pipes for the Lynchburg Hornets will be the sophomore Luca Orelli. Making his first career start, comes into this one fresh. He'll step in for Eric Allen, and that will be the only change we'll see for Lynchburg. Also changes at defense and also at face-off. Caramango gets the nod for the Hornets as they have a sidelined Riley Frankel and Rocco Egan. Now, this is a Bridgewater team that can certainly take advantage of that. This is an offense that can light it up when they get hot. Isaac Beals really leads the charge for this team with a team-high 39 goals and 14 assists this season. Beals, in his most recent game, notched 2 assists against the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon. And while we're talking about the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon, they just dropped, and their quarterfinal matchup as we're going through this open, Hampton-Sydney has just taken down Randolph-Macon 12-11 in overtime. That one a thriller. The Yellow Jackets scored with 10 seconds remaining in regulation, but Hampton-Sydney gets the final word on their home turf. They will now play the winner of that 1-8 matchup between W&L and Shenandoah. We talk about Luca Orelli. There you see some of the numbers that he's posted this year. Not a whole lot of a sample size. Nevertheless, we will get a big-time look at the young goalkeeper today. And he will certainly have his fair share of shots faced. Guys like Beals, Wendler, Wagner. This is a team that has multiple guys that have put up 20-plus goals this year. Well, the stage is set. Our opening keepers meet at the middle of the field, and each side will take their respective piece of the turf. All time, Lynchburg has handily controlled the series between these two programs. The Hornets have won all 12 meetings against the Bridgewater Eagles dating back to 2013. The closest competition has been a 16-8 final score, which happened during the 2020 season, but we've got a feeling this one might be tight. Parker Seeley lifted it up, couldn't corral it cleanly. Ball still knocked around and gathered by the Eagles. It's the long Bolin McNamara. He'll take it the other way. Meadows harassing him. It's a yard sale, lost his twig, and a violation on the Eagles. Lynchburg will take it the other way and initiate their clear. And an unsuccessful first attempt for Lynchburg. That's one element of their game they really pride themselves on. It's a Hornet squad that is typically one of the best in the conference, and a matter of fact, one of the best in the nation for their clearing percentage. First shot on goal for the young keeper is stopped right on the doorstep, but able to get out in front of it. Parker Seeley in four-wheel drive takes it the other direction. Across well in time. Holman wide open. Skied that one well over the keeper. Tried to go low to high, the right idea, just the wrong execution. Now Rubley on the attack. Dishes over for his brother Mark. Vandenberg at GLE will take it underneath at X, curling around the crease, being harassed by the long stick. Now Holman sweeping across the top of the box. Holman looking for a skip pass to connect with Rubley, but it's intercepted. Ball still free. Everybody's having a tough time picking it up off the carpet. But gathered by Orsi. You would think that the Lynchburg Hornets would come into this one just on a mission with a fire underneath of them after suffering their first loss since the Mustang Classic in early March to Gettysburg. That contest came just a day after Lynchburg took down then-ranked number 2 Christopher Newport. It was one of top two wins that Lynchburg gathered in the opening weeks of the season. Miscommunication on the switch, and the Eagles take advantage of it. Riley Stewart, the senior midfielder, strikes first, and the Eagles out in front by 1. We'll take another look at it. You can see the miscommunication right there between Brody Mason and Gabe Menchaca. One thought they were hedging, the other thought they were switching. Eagles with possession. They'll make substitutions and get that first line of midfielders back on the turf. Work to the near side. It's Isaac Beals, the man we highlighted in the open. Stewart, as he gets a chance of do it again, coming from the Bridgewater sideline. Lynn working against Casey. Sticks his foot in the ground and turns the other way. Looking for a skip pass, diving inside, and the Eagles have doubled up the Hornets. Back-to-back goals. What a way to start off the quarterfinal. Linsanity puts it through. Oh, I beg your pardon. The assist coming from Lynn. Wendler converts to make it 2-zip. And the Eagles trying to hold on to momentum and play make it, take it. Physical play at midfield. Morales, he's got a step. But Hastings will slow down the offense. The orchestrator. The ODAC leader in points this year, Riley Hastings, has made a great case for himself to be a National Player of the Year contender. 55 goals and 28 assists. Played around to Roth, the young freshman. Looking to cut the deficit in half. Hinchy one more. Shot offline. Backed up by Hastings. This is certainly not how the Hornets were looking to open up their quarterfinal play. Shot from Hastings is saved. Battle for the loose ball. Goose down in front. Still free. Bridgewater calling for a push they're not going to get. And Colby Hogg comes out of the scrum with possession. Roth spinning to his left. Vandenberg for Schmidt. Schmidt top left. Yes, sir. The tandem of attacks get it done for the Hornets, and they notch their first goal of the evening. If you're just now joining us, we want to update you with the rest of the bracket. Hampton-Sydney took down Randolph-Macon in their matchup as you get another look at Schmidt beating the keeper stick side high. Hampton-Sydney was the higher seed. They had beaten Randolph-Macon earlier in the season, but you could still call that one an upset. Macon was 13-5, Hampton-Sydney 10-8. That is a stout Randolph-Macon defense with one of the best defensive players, not just in the conference, but in the country. Nevertheless, Hampton-Sydney most likely will now play Washington and Lee unless Shenandoah can really shake something up. The winner of this game will play the winner of Roanoke and Virginia Wesleyan. Also on Flo, you can pop around and check all the other scores on what's going on. Also, check out the Old Dominion Athletic Conference website. You can check out all the live stats in one place. But a 2-1 ball game here in the Hill City through the first 6 minutes. Sharon behind the cage, guarded by the All-American Seeley. Nice chunk from zero in white. Bridgewater thought he was a little high. Now on the near side, it's Warren. Spinning back and forth, a sidearm. A bullet coming out of the blender. Shake you once and let it fly. The Eagles soaring in the first quarter of play. Once again, it's the first career start for the Lynchburg keeper. Brody Mason in transition. Brody Mason's shot deflected away by a defenseman. Looked like the extension from Janikowski. Disrupted that feed. Now Lynchburg with 60 on the timer will bring in that first line of midfielders. Van Tangway straight away, top of the box. Left-handed shot runs wide right. Backed up by Finn Schmidt with 54 on the ticker. Schmidt from the near side alley. Down to GLE and underneath to X. Back and forth with Vandenberg. Inside pass, quick stick shot. Draws iron. It'll reset to 60 for Vandenberg as he backs it up. Riley Hastings yet to get involved until now. That's a tough man to stop. One of the all-time greats for Lynchburg lacrosse. That's his 56th goal this season. That ties the 9th most goals in a single year, and certainly a whole lot of lacrosse left to be played for Hastings. I feel like no matter the result, you've got at least one more game if you're Lynchburg. Maybe a little bit premature, but as a top 10 team in the nation, you would assume that Lynchburg already has an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. But I can assure you that Coach Kudelka and company are not just looking for an NCAA tournament berth. This is a team that has ODAC championship aspirations and national championship aspirations at that, as well as Isaac Beal's shot is ricocheted away. Another save for the young keeper. They're going to test him again. This one off the mark, well outside, but brilliantly backed up by Beal. Try saying that 6 times fast. For Bridgewater, you can't say the same in terms of receiving an at-large bid. It's essentially win and you're in. You need a ODAC title to try and get to the NCAA tournament, but that's not necessarily the expectation every year for Bridgewater. The idea is that this is a rising program in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, a conference that has so much rich history in men's lacrosse as Holman sweeps to his strong hand, and Holman buries it in the back of the cage. We're all leveled at 3 apiece. Holman, one of those guys that's going to let it fly a whole lot. Averages over 7 shots a contest. One of the conference leaders in that respect, and the goals reflected as well. That's his 31st this year, tied for the second most on the team. Talk about how this Bridgewater team is just looking to continue to lay that foundation and build in the right direction. They have made so much progress over the years in a conference that can be really difficult to do that, in all honesty. You've got Roanoke, W&L, Lynchburg, Hampton, Sydney, Randolph-Macon, all these teams that have been in the national polls in the last handful of years on a consistent basis. Holman trying to go back-to-back. This one sent wide. It can be really tough to really throw yourself into that mix and try and establish yourself there, but that's something we've seen Randolph-Macon do lately. I mean, Randolph-Macon made an ODAC championship 2 years ago, played against Lynchburg here on this turf. That's a squad that has certainly worked in the right direction. Holman really letting it fly. Another stop made by the keeper. Or I beg your pardon, just offline. That shot clock won't reset. It'll stay at 41 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the first. Here's Finn Schmidt. He's got daylight. Help comes, draws an extra man. Vandenberg step down offline. Meadows there to maintain possession for Lynchburg, and a timeout taken by the Eagles. We'll take a break with them on FloSports. A level ball game in the ODAC quarterfinal. 3-3. And we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here from Lynchburg, Virginia. It's a 3-3 affair through the opening 9 minutes of action. Bridgewater came out roaring hot. The Hornets have responded with 2 unanswered goals. And looking at claim their first lead of the afternoon. Bridgewater did have a man head to the athletic training table during that break. In all honesty, I didn't see anything happen on the field. Felt like that timeout came out of nowhere, but now it seems to make a little bit more sense, and confusion why the officials wouldn't have stopped it there. Either way, I digress. It is 44 for the Eagles. That's Janikowicz. I hope I'm saying that right. Vandenberg in a tight space, able to put it in. They're going to talk and see if he was in the crease. No goal. Wiped away. Vandenberg a step inside. Jankowicz, I beg your pardon. A brutal ride from Lynchburg. but handled with relative ease from the Eagles. Able to get across the timeline with plenty of time to spare. Kudelka hollering, saying they were offsides. How'd you not see it? In the face of our officiating crew. There's certainly high emotion in this one. Everybody wants to survive in advance. Ryan Lynn down the right alley. Near side, it's Tristan Lee working against Casey. Gets the switch on to the All-American. Absorbed right into the chest. A bounce pass. How about that? And a brilliant sidearm feed from Will Eli. That's another new name in the Lynchburg starting lineup today. Back and forth. Sealy hesitates. How about the swim move and the score? Parker Sealy doing work on both ends. How about that move? Now you see me, now you don't. And for the first time today, Lynchburg out in front. And, you know, Sealy's going to get all the credit on that one for taking it across and really igniting that as Caramango had it momentarily but got it ripped away. But how about the feet? Seemed like that one came from Caden Hinchy. Unselfish play. It works well for the Hornets. 4-3 our score with just under 4 minutes remaining. Here's Hinchy after tabbing the assist. Works to his left. Feeds over for Hastings. He's already got one today. Couldn't find the second right there. Sent wide and picked up by Schmidt. Brody Mason doing some dancing on the near side. Looks like Lynchburg wants to just play 5-on-5. Creates some extra space for their playmakers. The D-Midi just hanging out right in front of the Lynchburg bench. Hinchy's sidearm ricochets off the keeper. Shot clock will reset to 60. Here's Finn Schmidt. Absorbs the contact and draws it out. Schmidt dunks inside. Oh my goodness. Low man wins. It looks like a pass rusher coming off the edge right there. Just dips his shoulder, gets past his man and converts. People like to say that football and lacrosse tend to have some similarities. But, you know, if you're Finn Schmidt, you're probably not built like Myles Garrett, even though you got the move in your bag. Face-off won by the Eagles. Caramango sticks with the play, causes the turnover, grabbed by Hicks. Now Lynchburg out and running. Behind the back feed for Hastings with a spin move. The pass down low for Vandenberg. Sweeping top side and great recovery defense by the Eagles to slow down that opportunity. Hicks tried to get a pole goal, just dancing on the doorstep. They'll head to the box and Ash will take his place. 2.5 remaining. It's a Prandy. Matched up with Plaster. A Prandy shot saved. Scooped up by Thillman. Back to the keeper. Bridgewater's got to move quickly. You got 10 seconds to get it across. Fading away, the pass collected. Nice feed from Landon Blackshear. Putting that one in the breadbasket, not easy to do. Here's Connor Warren. Spins to his right side. Trucked by Seeley. That one too high. Lynchburg will go man down. And a great opportunity now for the Eagles with an extra body on the floor. Take another look at the contact. Might not be too high, but it certainly was a cross check. Beals has been their go-to guy all year long in these situations. 8 goals in man-up sets. But you gotta hold on to it to get a shot off. Lynchburg looking to score a man down. No, they'll slow it up and kill the penalty. They've got 32 seconds on the penalty. Lynchburg will have about 30 seconds remaining after the penalty expires, and you got Laundry on the field as well for an offsides call against the Eagles. Ten seconds remaining on that penalty. Vandenberg awaiting at midfield. And back to full strength. Holman. Vandenberg. Rubley. 10 seconds. Hastings going to take it. Back up top. Step down Holman. No, an extra pass, and it's offline. Out of bounds with just under 5 seconds remaining. 4.8 to be exact. It'll be a 30-second penalty for the Eagles. Lynchburg might opt to just hold this one and take it into the second quarter. Bridgewater made their mark first. It was a 3-1 ball game, but the Hornets have scored 4 straight, 2 of which have come by way of Finn Schmidt. And that's, I've got another holdup. They're just going to let the clock expire. Yep. So we will head to the second quarter. Lynchburg out in front by a pair. 5-3 on LHSN and FloSports. And we welcome you back into the Hill City. We've got a 5-3 ball game with the Lynchburg Hornets out in front by 2. Lynchburg on an extra man set right now after an offsides penalty that got called 5 seconds before the intermission. Good ball movement here by Lynchburg. Quick passing to try and keep this Bridgewater team moving. They have handled it well thus far. Now at even strength, the Hornets are going to have an unsuccessful man up. Team that scores their man up at a 50% clip. Holman! Make that one your ringtone. Off the pipe and in. Beautiful shot right there from 2 and white. Assist given to Riley Hastings. Holman with his 32nd goal this year. 85 points this year for Riley Hastings and counting. That ties him for 6th all-time in program history for points. 2 away from the top 5. Holman was looking for another one, but decided to pull it out. 6-3. Finn Schmidt. Back over Seeley. Behind his back. Extra one over for Hastings. Now he'll go. The wraparound got poked out of his stick. Or rather, a pass deflected. Finn Schmidt, top side, lost his man. Shot saved. Holman, stutter step, fires, and scores! He's putting on a clinic out there. Number 2, how do you do?
That's a hat trick for Lynchburg's number 2, Liam Holman.
Six straight goals scored by the Hornets of Lynchburg. It's been a great day at the center dot for Bridgewater. Obviously no Franco or Egan. 1A and 1B for the Hornets. Bridgewater has won 6 of the 11 faceoffs. And on more than just 6, it seems like they had a beat on it off the draw, and the wingers from Lynchburg just came in. And Casey, nice takeaway. Could be a little 4-on-3 break here. Schmidt for Seeley, step down, saved. Long outlet, couldn't be caught cleanly. Nice job by Will Hicks to disrupt the pass. This Lynchburg defense has really had their fair share of combinations this year. Still trying to find that right cocktail. At this time of the season can be difficult. You lose a guy like Thadio at that Mustang Classic. Will Hicks stepped in beautifully and just did a great job really helping Lynchburg not miss a beat on that defensive end of the field. Senior guy who's just waiting for that opportunity, and when it came, he took full advantage of it. And now it's a little bit of a different story for Lynchburg on the defensive end, because you had Kyler Mahoney, who was arguably the best defender on this team, led the squad and caused turnovers per game. He was one of the best in the conference in that regard. This one off the outside netting. Fed to Brody Mason. He's going to look to weave his way through some traffic. And this might be a little slow break opportunity for Lynchburg. But he'll have that yellow light turn red. Shoveled over to Hinchy. But now as Mahoney goes down, you don't necessarily have a similar spot where Hicks was, where you've got that veteran guy right on deck. You've got a young kid in Will Eli, the freshman out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Nice pass, good look, and another one for the Hornets. Caden Hinchy converts. And the boys in white and red are buzzing.
Assisted by number 24, Riley Hastings.
Hastings with a dish. Bridgewater really set the tone in this one in the opening stanza. And ever since then, it was a 3-1 ball game, and Lynchburg has just turned this game on its head. Eli feeds his keeper. Menchaca looking to take it solo. And cruises across the timeline. As we go through this game, we'll continue to just kind of peek around the conference and see what's going on. W&L and Shenandoah, that's a 10-1 ball game. Generals in firm control. This one tracked down by Finn Schmidt. W&L scored 7 goals in the opening quarter against Shenandoah. As you get another look at Hastings' step-down bouncer that went off the top beam. And then in that 3-6 contest, as Hastings might have lost his footing there, a little too much toe drag. Now the Eagles soared across the field. Giving up to Wendler. He'll set up the offense. They got a chance here. A man streaking downfield. Can they catch him? Right on target. And puts it in. Blake Sharon. The midfielder out of Gainesville, Virginia, with a jump shot. That's pure.
Goal scored by number 36, Blake Sheeran. Assisted by number 9, Jake Wagner.
Wagner with a nice feed coming from X that snaps the scoring drought for the Eagles. As we continue to look around the conference, Roanoke and Virginia Wesleyan in a 7-1 ball game. The Maroons in firm control at home. Another face-off win for Bridgewater. Work to the near side of the field. Slowly advance. They find a shorty. Connor Warren lost it. And out of bounds off the Eagles. Hastings wants to go quick. They could have numbers if they push. Skip past Sealy. Couldn't watch it all the way through. And what could have been a 4-on-3 quick opportunity for Lynchburg results in another Hornet turnover. Four turnovers today for Lynchburg. They've certainly cleaned up in that regard from a game ago. They're winning that battle 6-4 right now. Apprendi down the far alley. Under 9 minutes to go in the opening half. Apprendi works back. Looking for Vandenberg right on the crease. They've got him, and he's got another goal. Vandenberg was right there, waiting for it. And when the ball came his way, he took advantage. Hornets back out in front by 5. Ground ball corralled by Lynchburg. That one scooped up by Mark Cron. I haven't seen a whole lot of Cron this year, but when we have, the junior long stick midfielder has been stellar. Nice split there from Rubley. Over to his brother. One more. Finn Schmidt. You reach, I teach. Finn Schmidt gets him in the air and puts another one in the back of the cage.
Assisted by 24, Riley Hastings.
Hastings looking like prime Steve Nash, giving out all the assists today. That's his third dime of the afternoon. Alex Morton soars in for the GB, and he's got room to run. Morton's sidearm, trying to let it soar from 18 out. An easy save made by Ian Cook. Got a stoppage right now from our officiating crew. They're just going to reset it. Rubley, Vandenberg, what a beauty! The assist coming from Mark Rubley. Vandenberg making his money about 5 yards out of the crease today. 2 goals from Vandy in a matter of minutes. And the Hornets are just pouring it on. 30 shots from Lynchburg while they've held Bridgewater to 12. And here could be a chance for the Eagles. Sidearm missile, top right. There's a reason we highlighted 14 in maroon in the open. The sophomore attackman can make it happen.
Isaac Fields, assisted by number 45, Coach Short.
The local product, Luke Meadows, with the ground ball. Go to LSM for this Lynchburg squad. He's been fantastic his past 2 seasons for the Hornets. Those LSMs, I'm a firm believer that they do not get enough credit. Any team you look at, such an undervalued position, but a guy that can make such a difference in that face-off element, certainly the defensive element. And another Lynchburg goal, this time scored by Will Rubley. Rubley with a quiet 32 goals this season. And the Eagles want to talk things over. Just past the midway mark in quarter number 2. Hornets up in front by a touchdown. And we welcome you back in, 12-5. Lynchburg in control after the goal scored by Will Rubley. Rubley had such an incredible start to his sophomore season. Scored 9 goals in the second game of the season. One of the most impressive single-game outings in program history. As Parker Sealy's got just enough time to get it across. He followed that performance up with 3 hat tricks in his next 4 games, and the one outlier was a 2-goal game against CNU where he also had an assist. And it's tough to think about this year for Lynchburg Lacrosse without thinking about Rubley's goal that he scored against Denison. Just about 9 seconds remaining in that game. Took a big hit curling around the crease and somehow deposited that one into the cage. Pass for Mache Roth is ricocheted away, able to keep it alive with 30 seconds on the timer. But ever since Finn Schmidt made his return right after that Gettysburg game, Rubley then has started to see more time in the midfield line, playing alongside his brother, Mark. Either way, no matter where you put that kid, he has produced. I get the sense that he's certainly more comfortable at attack, his natural position, but I mean, anytime you get 37 on the pitch, he's going to be dangerous. Nice spin move to get out of traffic, but now you got to win a foot race. Nice wheels shown by Blackshear to get it across the timeline. Down the near alley. No angle, shut off by Casey. Lee looking to orchestrate. Hicks awaiting his near side slide. Skip pass. Rolls out of play. Aprandy ready to bring it back in. Quick pitch to Hastings. Flipped over for Sealy. Uncontested. Sealy. Wide left. 34 shots to 13. Now the disparity between Lynchburg and Bridgewater. Vandenberg is for Tangway. Near side being dared to his left. Wants to take him to his right. One more Tangway. Extra for Finn Schmidt. Recovered by Hastings. Low to high. Why not let it fly? 5 points from Riley Hastings in the first half. A pair of goals and a trifecta of dimes. We might just skip the commercials and play that one on repeat about 60 times during the intermission. Another great play made by the LSM, but it gets shoved out of bounds. Kadelka infuriated, asking for a push in the back against Lynn that he won't get. Nice ground ball from the youngster Eli. Alex Morton now in transition. Over for Sealy. Behind the back. Vandenberg, top right. Oh, I can't wait to watch this replay. Look at it. Whoop! Right there, just able to deposit it. Top right. He's cooking on Cook. That's the third Hornet hat trick thus far. Holman, Schmidt, Vandenberg, all with 3 apiece. Hastings right behind him with 2. Holding called on the Hornets. That's an easy call for our officiating crew. Bridgewater still in this ball game. You started off hot. We've seen what they can do, even against a team like Lynchburg that has that national recognition and a host of All-Americans. This team's got fight. They need a little bit of magic on the offensive end. The defense has done a phenomenal job of just not letting them get a whole lot of shots off. I mean, 13 shots, they've scored on 5 of them. An unbelievable clip thus far. We just got to try and get a few more off for the Eagles. Dodge down the right side. Pass on the crease. Once again, it's the right idea. It's the best look possible on the feed. But just Lynchburg, like a boa constrictor, just surrounding this Bridgewater offense and not giving them any room to breathe. Rubley showing off his wheels. Under 2.5 to go in the opening half. Holman with a split. Oh my goodness, you bet! Put it on the board. The move sets up the shot. That's what they call shake and bake. Four goals today from Holman on 7 shots. Every one of them that's been on target has been true. Hornets win the faceoff. 2 minutes to go. Up by double figures. With this, we'll take a second to look around other scores in the ODAC. Washington and Lee leading Shenandoah 16-2. And then Roanoke over Virginia Wesleyan 9-1. That game has headed to halftime as well with W&L. 16-1 in the first half is what you expect to see against your number 1 seed. Roth dips to his right, dishes for Hastings. Good ball movement by Lynchburg. Double team now starting to come from the Eagles. Running this 3-3 zone. It gets broken. Hogg inside. Tack another one on for the home team.
Hornets goal was scored by number 23, Kobe Hogg.
23 in red. I don't want to be like Mike. I want to be like Kobe Hogg. That was a great pass from Mache Roth to set up that sequence. Eagles looking for an answer. They have been outscored 11-2 in the second quarter. Lynchburg showing you why they're the number 1 offense in the nation. Scoring just under 20 goals a game. Nice takeaway from the keeper. Looking for a long outlet pass, trying to find Parker Seeley streaking downfield, but couldn't get to him in time. He'll reverse his footing. Down for Eli. The long pole across midfield. Casey will hold up. A Prandy for Seeley. Finn Schmidt, one more for Hastings, went 5-hole. right through the legs and out of play with 10 ticks to go. Heave downfield. Full field shot off the mark. And that is how we will end the first half. 16-5 Lynchburg, which started as a tight ball game. Just a 2-goal disparity at the end of the first 15 minutes. Lynchburg started to run away with it. 11-2 second quarter, and they lead 16-5 as we head to half. And we welcome you back to the Hill City. We apologize for the audio issues. We just had to reset everything we've got. We didn't want to give you a break from the show itself. No timeouts during the third quarter, so we had to wait until the end of the frame. Nevertheless, we're back for the quarterfinal affair. Also having issues with our clock on the score bug. So we appreciate you giving us a little bit of grace here today as we've experienced a whole host of issues. Nevertheless, 14 and a half to go in the contest. Lynchburg out in front by 15. That third quarter was all Lynchburg. Their lowest amount of goals scored in a frame today with 4, but they put a goose egg up for the Eagles. Best defensive outing thus far. As Fowler hits the deck but gets back to his feet over for Quincy White. White gets it right back top of the box. Bridgewater still sporting a zone look defensively. White trying to break it, taking it himself down to GLE, back up top. One more, step down, Pouncer is on the mark. Lynchburg adds to their total. Good ball movement and a beautiful shot out of the stick of Adam Volm. Freshman midfielder out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. 14 minutes to go. Lynchburg's done a great job of moving it around today. 9 assists on their 21 goals. That face-off has also been a lot stronger in the second half, up to 18 of 29. And we've got another change in the final quarter between the pipes for Lynchburg. Now it's Braden Garwood, the young freshman. 3 different goalies today for Lynchburg, and not in the traditional order that we see him in. We talk so much about the first career start for Luca. Allen came in relief in quarter number 3. Everybody getting some playoff minutes. Seems like it's going to be chalk across the board in the quarterfinal. Felt like the only one we could have seen a lower seed pick up a road victory was that 4-5 matchup between Randolph-Macon and Hampton-Sydney, in which went to overtime. It was a Macon squad that scored a game-tying goal with 10 seconds remaining in regulation, and then Hampton-Sydney found the game winner with 2 minutes to go in the first overtime period. Here's 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock for Henry Fowler. Drops his man, but scooped up by Cook. Used the frying pan to collect that one. 12 and a half to go. Long pass. Dropped into the stick of Ryan Lynn. Lynn's had a pretty good game today. These midfielders and attackmen have really shown flashes offensively for Bridgewater. They just haven't been able to string together enough offensive success to really give Lynchburg a run for their money. And it's honestly been a really impressive outing from this Lynchburg defense that is somewhat battling a war of attrition. Stewart matched up with Ethan Carr. Lynn wants to take it down the alley. Cuts it back up top. A little bit of congestion on the offensive end. Everybody on one side of the field for Bridgewater. I'll go back in that direction. Beals, beautiful pass. The shot just a touch too high. Luke Wendler trying to go bore down. And they'll toss it in the corner with just over 11 minutes remaining. Other scores across the conference, W&L up 23-4 over Shenandoah. That's a 12-5 W&L team that is certainly better than that record reflects against a 5-12 Shenandoah squad. Roanoke with a 13-2 lead over Virginia Wesleyan in Salem. Julian Kammerman leading the way for the Maroons with 5 goals on the night. He's one of the most prolific scorers in the conference. That'll be a fun battle between Roanoke and Lynchburg in the semifinal game this Friday. You got a whole lot of offense. One thing that has always impressed me about that Roanoke team, even after their change in coaching, they have maintained that brilliant ball movement that really just identifies that team. Down the far alley, shot wide left. $15 on the timer for Lynchburg. Mikey Richardson over for Quincy White. Now Volm underneath with 5 to go. Got to get something off. Drew Schmidt can't watch it all the way in, and he'll just toss it in the corner. A vocal Lynchburg sideline still up by 16 goals. Deafening silence from the Bridgewater. And an offsides call on Quincy White and the Lynchburg Hornets. They'll keep him on just to take advantage of the penalty. 9:20 to go. How about the pickoff right there from the long pole, and Noah Burkhart able to stop the action and get Bridgewater set up in their man-up opportunity. EMO for the Eagles. They're 0 for 1 today. 9 minutes remaining. Biggest thing for Bridgewater is you just got to get shots on the board. Only 16 shots today compared to 55 from Lynchburg. And I beg your pardon, I must have missed a couple during the intermission while I was off the headset. 3 EMOs today for Bridgewater. Still looking to convert their first one. There it is, right on cue. Beals. Nice play made by the team's leading scorer. That's his 9th EMO goal this year.
Bridgewater goal scored by number 14, Isaac Beals.
1 for 3 now on the day for the Eagles. Nice face-off win from Caramango. Move from the top of the box, out wide and underneath. And another Lynchburg goal as they just continue to add to their total. Liam Crawford, the 804 product.
Lynchburg goal scored by number 42, Liam Crawford.
Crawford out of Douglas Freeman High School in Richmond, Virginia. One of the premier spots in Richmond out of the public league schools. Obviously a big private school scene for lacrosse coming out of that area. See a whole lot of St. Christopher's and collegiate, and maybe even a little bit of Trinity Episcopal in the mix there. Quincy White, a freight train, trying to barrel his way down the tracks. Tosses it over. Bouncer up top. Under 8 minutes to go. Now, despite the result today for the Eagles, you got to feel good about the direction of this program. Last 2 years, 5 wins. This year, able to grab a tournament berth with 10. Just their 3rd time in a short program history. Just jumping on top of them. WWE style. To be fair, it is Monday Night Raw. The officials do not want to see any Randy Ortons with under 7 minutes to go in a 16-goal game, and there's another flag thrown. Laundry certainly starting to pour out of the basket now. This ball just thrown away to the near sideline, and Lynchburg will go EMO. This is the 3rd time in Bridgewater's short program history. They started in 2013. As you get another look at this dive on top, followed by more physical play. They won 13 games. Back in 2019, it was a 13-5 year for the Eagles, where they went 6-4 in conference. Besides that, it was 2022 where they went 10-8 and 5-5 in ODAC play. Certainly working in the right direction. Oh, nice shot, but off the pipe. That was Will Carrera. Tack another one on for the home team. Lynchburg. Everything but a bow on this one. Mache Roth with the EMO goal. Turns, fires, and scores. Feels like a common trend from Bridgewater this season, where they started games hot and just have not been able to close it out. They go back to last game where Bridgewater had. They started 3-0 over Randolph-Macon in the first 5 minutes of play. Eerily similar to what happened today. Bouncer falls through. Cash from Nathan Miller. He'll take that one to the bank for a 24-6 lead. It's been fun to watch Nathan Miller get a little bit more action this year. Obviously, his brother was a big-time playmaker for Lynchburg in his senior season after waiting his turn inside the crease. We've seen Nathan in a lot of situations similar to this ball game late in games where he has come in and put his stamp on the contest. I would not be surprised to see him be someone that really emerges out of the pack next year and fills a lot of the gaps of departing athletes for the Hornets. There have been a lot of games where Lynchburg has just run away with it in conference play, and you get to see a little bit of that depth. That's something that we talked about last year a whole lot in a similar spot, and always cool to see that come to fruition. And then these guys step in. Eric Allen was always the go-to guy at the beginning of the year when we had these talks, just because late in games, similar to where you see the keeper in now for Lynchburg, he would come in and just be straight nails and lock up opposing teams. Oh, my goodness. Luke Wendler brings the habanero sauce out. Bridgewater's 7th goal of the day.
Assisted by number 14, Isaac
Second
Peters.
one in the fourth quarter. If you take away the second quarter, this is a competitive bowl game. That was an 11-2 frame in Lynchburg's favor. One thing that was pretty interesting this past week, if you're a Lacrosse fan, it was a new edition of the, there's Nathan Miller once again, gets his second of the day. I'm telling you, look out for 49 next year. And not too late to really work your way into that rotation this year either. I mean, if somebody goes down, he's a guy that's right there as he hits the scuba on his way back to the sideline. You know, let's talk about the scuba a little bit. Because the scuba is something really fascinating. We're going to wait to, we couldn't get it on replay. The scuba is a celebration now, as everybody wants to do it in the press box. That was modernized by Cam Ward about 2 or 3 years ago. Now quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. And Cam Ward really made a name for himself in his senior season playing at the University of Miami. And with the Hurricanes, when he would have a long touchdown pass or long touchdown run, he would often trot into the end zone and place one hand over his mouth and then extend his other hand out and then move his wrist upwards and downwards. Now, about a year later, are we going to get a look at there you get a look at the scuba on replay. About a year later, this just catches fire on social media, whether TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like to find your socials, and just becomes vastly popular, eerily similar to back in 2016 when Cam Newton, the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, really revolutionized the dab. And now a lot of times in lacrosse, in baseball, softball, and somebody makes a big play, you're going to see him celebrate with that scuba. The one thing that did change from Cam Ward to the social media element is that wrist stopped going north-south and started moving east-west. So there's your fun fact for tonight. If you're a parent watching at home, might be good to text your kid and say, nice game tonight, hit the scuba when you get home. Sure, that'll give him a jump scare. Timeout taken on the field with 2.5 to go in the final quarter of play. Lynchburg out in front by 18. We'll step aside. We'll be right back on LHSN and FloSports. And we welcome you back to Schellenberger Field, an 18-point affair as Lynchburg looks to close this one out. Last night, a big night for the Hornet community. LSAs, the Lynchburg Sports Awards, celebrated. The Lynchburg men's lacrosse team came away with some hardware. You had some guys recognized as All-Americans from a season ago, and Riley Hastings took the Lynchburg Dr. Jack M. Toms Male Athlete Senior of the Year. Great recognition. It was fun to see just that whole squad erupt when his name was called. As this pass not able to be reeled in, scooped up by the keeper, and he's off and running. Pass too long for Daniel Scapatiro, but able to scoop it up, and it's taken away. Bridgewater heading the other direction with 90 seconds to go. Long outlet pass on one hop, not handled cleanly, but able to pick it up off the carpet. Minute 15 remaining. Lynchburg has outshot Bridgewater 63-19. Lynchburg one shot away from tying the 10th most shots in a single game in program history. That's how you get the sense that they have just poured it on today. And I beg your pardon, there's actually one more on there that happened earlier this year, so they're one away from tying 11th. Nice shot. Top right corner. Ryan Lynn puts it in. With just under 30 seconds to go, Ryan Lynn with a nice little jump shot. Scored against Chris Burke. Fourth goalie we've seen tonight for Lynchburg. .27 seconds to go. And we'll hit you with the final scores across the conference. W&L with a 27-7 win. Roanoke up 16-4. Just over a minute remaining. And that will do it. Hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. A great one if you're a Lynchburg fan. For Bridgewater, you've got the hope that you're continuing to build in the right direction. You'll bring back so much talent next year. This is a squad that is doing the right things and looking to try and really compete with those perennial powerhouses of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. They started this one off hot, as they did a whole lot of games this season. Nevertheless, Lynchburg just had more gas in the tank to run away with it. The semifinal is set for this Friday from Schellenberger Field, where the Hornets will await the Maroons. That should be a real exciting one. We'll have that game 4 o'clock start time. Make sure you stay updated with everything Lynchburg Athletics on the website and social media channels. I've been Joe Brennan. For myself and our entire production crew, thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us. And until next time, thank you so much and stay cool.